This
So what
conference
is
will now be recorded.
yeah so so what is the data, how to create the data, sample data, and I need to import the data into my actual graph. Okay, so on the day one we'll be discussing these details. So basically, like I'm having like data in such a way: one Anil, 100, something like Pune, male, and deeper number 10. Okay, so in the same way, Khadar 200, Bangalore, male 20, 3, Ravi 300, USA, male 30. Okay. Okay. So totally 3 records are there. I want to extract 3 records into my GD. Okay. I want to extract these 3 records into GD. Right. So basically, in order to extract the data in the ab initio, we'll be using few components called input file and output file components. Okay, input file and output file components. To extract the data, we'll be using input file component. To load the data, we'll be using output file component. Okay, so let's discuss first on the input file component. So my primary requirement is to extract this data, what I created now, to extract this data into GDE with the help of input file component. Right. So first save this data in some location. Okay. So notepad. Okay. While saving, enter it. Okay. While saving, enter it. Save as in the on the desktop. I'm trying to save, or in the C drive is also fine. Okay. Suntrains. Okay. SU underscore TR. So saved the file which is 3 records: Anil, Khadar, and Ravi. 3 records total. Okay. So I'm opening the file, input file. As I mentioned, in order to extract the data, I need a input file. And moreover, we need to provide few details. We need to provide few details for the ab initio understanding of the data. For ab initio understanding of the data. So that is called DML. Okay, DML. So what is this DML? Again, it is needed to ab initio to understand the data. Okay, to understand the data. So basically, if I see this, like this is like, I'm assuming this is like serial number, name, transaction done by them, and location, and gender, and department number. So I'm having total 6 columns. Okay, so since I'm some human, I can understand. No, that is my understanding. Okay, that is my understanding. But I want to convey this to Abhinishu. The format of the structure of the record will be like conveyed with the DML. So as per my understanding, I'm taking versus serial number, second is name column, third is transactions column, fourth is location column, next is like a gender column, and a department number column. Okay, so this is my 6 columns. Now so which this comes under which data type, right? So this comes on which data type, this comes on which data type, in the same way for all the 6 columns. So first one you can see like numeric, right? So for the numeric I can provide a decimal space. The same way name, right? Name comes under data type string space. In the same way transactions, that is like a decimal space. Location, that is like a string data type space. Gender comes under string only space. Next is a department number comes under space. Okay, so data type respective data types also have declared. Okay, once after that, if you observe this row, how can I tell this is one column, this is one column, this is one column? Means I'm using an specific character to divide. Okay, specific character to divide. I will be calling that as delimiter. Okay, I will be calling that as delimiter. So usually in any of the Ab Initio projects, if you receive a file, these are the things you need to understand to create a DM. Okay, we need to create the DML. So when you are having the source as database, any of the database, Ab Initio is having a capability to dynamically generate the DML. Why? Because database is, let me think like Oracle. It is structured, right? So it is like a structured. It consists of structured data. That means if a table is created like 6 columns, there will be clearly mentioning serial number, like varchar. Okay, serial number comes for decimal, right? So this is for varchar. Right, so there will be declaring varchar 2 of 20, varchar 2 of will be declaring clearly. So based upon that, it will be generating the DML dynamically. But here, since it is a file, we need to generate it. We need to create it actually. So that's what our intention. That's what we are trying. Okay. So comma delimiter. So you can see the data separation is like a comma. So I need to clearly mention the quotes. Okay, so I need to clearly mention the quotes. The data delimiter is a comma. Okay, so by default DML structure starts with record and ending with END. Okay, and also don't forget to mention semicolons at the end of the each column. Okay, and very last we need to mention is slash or. Okay, slash or. So what is the slash or means? This is like end of the columns. This is the end of the columns, slash or. Okay, since we are working under the Windows like co or Abinitio installed in the Windows side, we need to mention slash n also. Slash or slash n, remember, for our training purpose we are mentioning slash n. Slash r, that is applicable in the Windows environment and Unix also. In the real time also, if you observe any of these one, right, you can see any of the DML, you can see slash. Slash n is not yet required in the real time, since when we need to mention slash n means when you install the code in the Windows environment, we need to mention slash n. Like some bytes difference will be calculated with the slash. That's what I understood. Okay, so let me repeat it again. Okay, since like first class, right? So we should not get confused. Let's go one after one. So I'm having this data. Okay, I'm having this data. This data I want to use in the GD. I want to use this data in the GD. So for extraction, so this data is present in on the some C drive, correct? So I want to extract that into GD. I want to extract that into GD with the help of input file. So if you see the input file, you can see URL tab. Okay, so URL tab is nothing but, so here we will be giving our file name. Okay, so for this file to read through the Ab initio, it needs some structure. That structure will be provided in the ports tab. Nothing but DML. So the DML will be declared. Okay, that will be given in the ports tab. So for that purpose, I need to create the DML. For that purpose, I need to create the DML. So as per my understanding, I'm creating the DML. Okay, but in the real time, no need to worry. They will be providing what is the name. I mean, no, like what are the column names? They will be providing the header. Okay, they will be providing the header. Based upon the header, we can create the DML. No need to worry. Okay, so as per my understanding, I'm taking first value as serial number. Okay, name, transaction done by them, location, gender, department. So according to that, I have written my columns one after. Okay, one row. After that, I need to declare. I need to tell which data type that falls. So string means string, decimal means decimal. So for the total 6 columns I have written. Next thing is delimiter need to be given clearly. So I have mentioned in the brackets in the quotes with respect to delimiter. If you use pipe delimiter, right, you can mention pipe. So basically what is delimiter? It is used to separate the data, right? So it is used to separate the data. So usually what are the delimiters you will be observing the real time? Comma is 95% we will be using comma as a delimiter. Okay, and a few more things are pipe, tilde, okay, and pipe and tilde combination both. Okay, and space also will be using as the delimiter, right? So that depends upon situation. Mostly 95-99% all the projects or files you will be receiving in the comma delimiter. I mentioned receive. We will be receiving data. Okay, we will not create it at any cost in the real time. The data will be given to you. Okay, so if like for the November month, let me think in production that is having 1 million records. At least in your testing environment, okay, 10,000 or 1 lakh records will be present for testing purpose only, right? You don't need to create. You don't need to create. So we'll be like copying the data from production. That means hierarchy, how the hierarchy will be, so in the production, L3 and production support team will load the data. Okay, so once the data is available in the production, like production support team will copy the data from production to UAT. Okay, so from UAT, QA team will be copying the data from QA to UAT to QA. So from SIT, mostly all the developers will be having full access only for SIT also. Okay, so from SIT to development team will be like copying the data for the testing purpose, like that. Okay, so okay, so regarding the DML, so like I'm mentioning my columns one after one. Okay, that is my first step. Second step is I need to declare what is the data type is that, whether it is string or decimal. One after one. So next is a comma delimiter. So as per the data, if you are having comma as a delimiter, you can mention comma. If you are having a pipe as a delimiter, you can mention pipe. If you are having tilde as a delimiter, you can mention. According to that, you can mention. But remember, you need to mention slash or. You need to mention slash or. So why slash in here means? Why slash in here means? Since my training thing was installed in the Ab initio was installed in the Windows, right? So I need to mention slash. Okay, some bytes will be adjusted. Okay, slash means like for the bytes adjustment in the Windows environment, we will be mentioning slash. Okay, so and starting and ending with record and end. Are we clear, guys? Kadar, Ravindra, and
Yes,
Vinesh.
Sunil. Yeah, yes.
Jyoti. Okay, Jyoti. Hope you are good, right?
Yes, Anil.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so let me use this only. Let me use this only for my extraction purpose. Copy. Okay, copy. I'm going to my input file. Right, I'm in the input file. I'm just closing. I'm just opening it. Okay, input file, ports tab. In the ports tab, I will be mentioning my things. So here, just see here, when I click new, automatically you can see record and was pre-generated. Right, that was generated. Now enter the record definition here. So whatever the thing I have written here, right, in between record and end, okay, record and end, I can copy and paste directly. Else, since I have copied total edit template, so I'm just mentioning all edit. Okay, see there. So once you have done with any hard coding in the Ab initio, you need to validate for every step we're having validate. See there. For every step in Ab initio, we're having validation option. Validate. See there. Right. So some issue is there. See what is the issue? We can see here SRTING instead of string. Somewhere I have mentioned SRTING. So you can see here gender. STRI and just now validate. See that record format is okay. So when I'm doing some hard coding, anything like typo error or like if I missed any of the particulars, so let me think, I have removed this colon, I have removed this. Okay, so I'm just validating. Here also you can see some issue. Okay, error in line 5 string. Okay, so unexpected token string. So right up, so I mentioned my colon back. right? So I am saving it. So now go to input file. So first, what is input file? Input file is nothing but to extract the data from some location. That location will be in the Unix file system only. Okay, so input file, it is used to extract the data from file system, nothing but in the bracket I'm mentioning clearly Unix. Why I'm mentioning Unix, Anil? I'm having data in the database and I want to extract the data. In that case, you cannot use input file. You will be using input table component. Okay, you will be using input table component. Not only something like Oracle DB2, whatever files present in the database, the same component will be used. We are having some specific DBC file concept. Based upon that, same component will be used to connect to any of the database. Because of the DBC file concept, we can connect to respective database and we can extract the data like that. So here also, if the data or file is present in some file system, nothing but Unix. Okay, nothing but Unix, we will be using the input file. Okay, so double click on the input file. You can see first tab. You can see 3 tabs in the input file system. First tab is a description tab. So description tab. So you can mention directly that file path if you are having it handy. Else you can go with the browse option. So no problem. Click on the browse. Go to the C drive. Okay, now a sun trace, right? So this is my file, right? This is my file. Double click, right? So this is my file. C drive sun training .txt. Okay, so while coming to the next stage is the port step. As I mentioned, in order to extract the data into Ab initio, I need to declare the structure of the data here called DML, right? So that DML need to be given in the port step. Right? So we're having few options also here. Embedded means if you want to type something here directly, you can type it here. Okay, second is the path option. Path is nothing but my my DML is already I have saved in some location for my future purpose. So usually DMLs, right, we'll be saving in the DML folder in the sandbox and we'll be using it. Okay, so we'll not be writing 95% we will not be writing in between the graph, in between. If the structure need to be changed wantonly, in that case only you will be hard coding. Else you will be saving the DML in some location and you will be reusing in the input file. So I'm just telling you in different ways. So now I am writing my directly thing here. If it is present in some location, no problem, you can just click on the path. Okay, you can just click on the path. Okay, just click on the path, click on the browse. Okay, so right, so cust right, so cust underscore dml.txt. So right, so I have already created the same kind of DML. Okay, I have same kind of DML and I have saved in the DML folder. So this is also fine. So now I have saved my recently I have saved my DML, right? That is present in C Ab initio work files and DMLs cust underscore dml.txt. So since our intention is to use the existing one that now created for our purpose, right? So let's go with the embedded only. Okay, let's go with the embedded only. So edit, validate. Don't forget. So one wrong I have done, right? Just correcting that. Right. So while coming to the description tab, here we will be mentioning the file. The ports tab, here we will be mentioning the DML. So next thing is same as nothing but like I'm having 10 components in the graph. I want to reuse one of the existing DML, one of the components DML. In that case, you can mention see that you can see input file, output file. In this GDE, in this graph in this graph, right? In this graph I'm having two components only. If I bring few other components like input table, roll up, scan, join, right? So all those things also will be appearing when I go with the same assumption. I can reuse one of the existing DML based upon the situation. That things also will be coming into picture in our training level. Okay, so ignore. So propagate from neighbor is nothing but since this is first component, right? This is not enabled. Okay, this is first component, this is not enabled. If you connect this, right, if you connect this, right, you can see output file, port step. This was, you can see DML, right? So why you can see DML means because of this propagate from neighbor option. Because of this propagate from neighbor option only, the DML will be flowed from one component to another component till end of the graph. End of the graph. So basically, right, graph means nothing but a requirement given to you. Okay, so a requirement given to you, we need to develop that in the ab initio, right? So that is called a graph. So right, so going to the next tab, access tab. If you see here, access tab will be not using this kind of tabs 99%. Okay, because we will not get a requirement for this, but let me show you. Maintain exclusive access to files. Okay, so basically if you enable this, right, so you can see this one. So it is not enabling here. Okay, and also it is not useful because you will be maintaining this exclusive access while loading the data, not while reading the data. While loading the data, if you want to load the data like chmod 777 permissions, right, chmod 755, chmod 775, right? So if we want to load the data and maintain exclusive access to that loaded data, right? So we'll be using that, but for the input table, sorry, input file, you don't need of that kind of things. Okay, so truncate file forward when reading, like I'm having 10 files, sorry, 10 records in a file. I'm having 10 record. So let me think, so after 5 files reading, right, sorry, 5 rows. Okay, 5 rows, that rows will be automatically truncated. File will be existed, but internal data will be deleted if I go with this option, truncate. The same way, delete file after job runs. That means after the graph running successfully, the file need to be deleted. In that case, I can go with this delete file after job runs. So this is exclusively independent of your development. You will not be touching this kind of options. No need to worry. Okay, so basically input file, remember important things is here we need to, in the description tab, we need to mention the URL where the data is present. The same way ports tab, here we need to mention the structure or DML of the respective file. If I don't mention the DML, ab initio will not able to understand what is that. So by default we need to mention the some DML, right? So this is input file is nothing but to extract the data, you will be using the input file. The same way output file, as I mentioned, in order to load the data, I will be using some output file. Okay, so I'm just double clicking on the output file. You can see the description tab, access tab, ports tab, right? So in the same way, you can observe some yellow things here. Okay, you can observe some yellow thing here. In the input file also URL level there was yellow. So yellow represents nothing but some 2D queue. So what is this 2D queue? Okay, so 2D queue is nothing but need to provide some details. Okay, so what is 2D queue means? 2D queue is nothing but component is expecting some value here. Until unless the value is given, my component does not work. For example, I'm seeing this output file, right? I'm using this output file. In the URL I can see hello. So what is the intention of output file here? To load the data into some location with some file name, correct? So if I don't provide this URL, then to which location and with what file name data need to be, right? Data need to be loaded, right? So that is the minimum basic thing to work with the output file. So without mentioning the output file with respect to URL and the file name, there is no use of output file usage also, right? So that's why you need to declare some value here. So I will be using outputs something like ou.txt. Okay, so I'm loading the data into C files output ou1.txt. okay, till C2 output, this is my file location where the file need to be created. ou1.txt is the file. I will show you in the backend also once the loading is done. Okay, see that after mentioning the file, you can see yellow thing was automatically resolved or removed. It got automatically removed. Why? Because I have declared some value. That's why that got resolved. So going to the port step, as I mentioned, since it was connected from input file to output file, so you can see port step, because of the propagate from neighbor option. Okay, DML, that was auto populated. Have I declared anything here in the output file? Means no, that was auto populated. Why? Because the behavior of Ab initio is this way. It's try to propagate the DML from first component to last component, right? So in the same way, so if you want to write something here, you can write it you can go with the embed option. So if you click on the embed, it will allow you to write the DML in the output file level. In the same way, path, the path is some other kind of DML if you want to declare, and that is saved in some location. No problem. Click on the path, click on the browse, you can able to choose that respective DML. Same as. So if you want to use pre-existing components DML, no problem. Just click here. Already shown here, right? Input file, output file, we have seen here. The same way, respect to DML, if you want to use, you can use the same as option. So by default, that is propagate from neighbor. Okay, not for the input file. Input file is starting point of the graph, right? So that's why you don't see propagate from neighbor. But this is like a flow, right? So that's why you can see by default that will be propagate from neighbor. If you want to do something, you can do, no problem, with the use of embedded path or same as option. So are we clear, guys? So basic, and coming to the access tab for guys. Okay, access tab, maintain exclusive access to file. So we have seen same in the input file, right? Input files, maintain exclusive access. So if you want to mention 775 permission, 777 permission to respective file, right? That you can exclusively mention with this. Okay, that you can exclusively mention. So the 777, first 7 represents like Ab initio admin in the production level. Okay, in the same way, group comes under now like which team comes under group means like L2 or production support team. other people comes under like who will be coming, developers, BAs, right? Just for our understanding, I'm telling you this kind of division. Okay, so if you want to mention read, write, execute, access, read, write, execute, access, read, write, execute, so you can mention with all the checkbox whatever the file loaded, right? So that data will be loaded, that file will be loaded with this kind of permissions. If I want to, I'm a developer, so whatever loading happening, so developer should only need the have the access of read only. He should not execute anything, he should not edit anything. In that case, I no need of this, right? I no need of this. So in that case, whenever the file is loaded, developers or BA team cannot touch that. They can only read. Touch in the sense, they can just open, they can see the content, what is the file, but they cannot edit or they can't execute with the help of this. So just maintain exclusive access means, so according to the file protection things what I have given, that will be according to that file will be loaded. Okay, a delete file if it exists. So by default you can see these two checkbox that was already checked in. So nothing but if the file is existed, ou1.txt is already pre-existed, right? So file will be deleted and it recreates. See here, second option, create file if it does not exist. Nothing but what is happening, when the graph is ran again, now with the help of this option, first the file will be deleted, next the file will be recreated. So whatever the old file that is present with the actual data, I no need of that. I want to recreate that file with my new data. In that case, these two things are needed. Okay, so Ab Initio is having the capability to create a file also. I will show you practically. Okay, so it is having the capability to create a file. If the file ou1.txt is not present, right, it is having the capability to create also. Okay, I will show you. So next thing is append output to the end of the file while writing. So let me think, I'm loading 3 records, right? If the already file is having 10 records, okay, so now if the data need to be loaded from 11th record, right? Just click this option, automatically appending will be started. Okay, appending of the records will be started. 10 records will be kept as it is, and next 3 records will be loaded from 11th position. 11, 12, 13, total 13 records will be seen. So don't roll back file if job files, like this is like rollbacking recovery mechanism. You may use that, you may not use, but usually in the access tab or the output file also you will be not touching. So Anil, you clearly mentioned, right, we can maintain exclusive access while loading the data, right? While loading the data in the target location mentioned, right? So usually Ab Initio admin team, what they will be doing, the location, whatever the location I have mentioned here, right? Whatever the location C files output, right? They will handle directly, they will be provide respective permissions to that location directly. Okay, so if they want to provide full permissions to the L2 team and only read-only permissions to the developer or BA team, they will be providing the same permissions in the direct path level only. Okay, so if I want to move to that location, I can move. C files output, I can move, but if I want to do any cpmv commands in that path, it will not allow me. So where is that file? Right, ou1.txt, that is in C files output. So if the file is given with restricted permission, that means read only permissions to BS or developers, right? So if I even though I'm having read only kind of access, and if I go there and find some mv command, cp command or rm command, it will not allow me. It will be telling that you don't have access, right? So that's why access tab is not used here. Access tab is not used here. So directly whatever the path I have mentioned, right, that path only will be handled separately. So whatever the file that is loading, let it be. with full permissions or with half permissions or with the basic read only permission, let it be, no problem. But the path will be handled in the real time. Okay, so hope you are good, right, regarding input file, output file. If you are good, I will just show you the execution way. Are we clear, Ravindra, Kader,
Yeah.
Jyoti? Yeah. Okay. So in order to run, you know, you're having option here. Okay, you're having an option here, F, or you can press F5, or in the run, you can see this. The run, you can see this option. Any option is fine. Okay, so now let me navigate to C files output. So in my C drive, files. Okay, it's here. Okay, C files output. So ou1.txt, right? See here, this is my file. This was created, see there, November 16th, 75 bytes. Only 3 records, right? Only 3 records, right? 75 bytes at 8:21 AM, right? So double click here, you can see the your respective files, respective records, right? So if you want to view directly in the front end, right, in the ab initio output file, right click here, view data. Okay, you can mention your respective count also. You want to view 100 records, you want to view 1000 records also, no problem. You can just adjust that, just click OK. See there, you can see the structure of the file and actual data now, right? Now actual data you can see along with the structure, DML. Right, so in this way we can load the data. I mentioned ab initio is having the capability to create the file, right? Even the create file if it does not exist. Now what I will be doing, you know, let me open this. So if you see here ou1 2 3 4 5 7, okay, so let me create 100 file, 100 ou1.100, right? So I have so I just corrected the file 100.txt. So why this is blocking or what? Okay, so actually this need to be shown small only. It was not appearing. I don't know why. Okay, so I can see that is completed. So going to the backend, OU100, see there, right? That was created now itself. 823, 823. Same 3 records. Right, create file. So basically what ab initio, what does that do, you know, while loading the data, first it will search for file is existed or not, and that will be deleted. Even though file is pre-existed, that will be deleted, and it will recreate the file because of this checking of the two boxes. If you don't mention this, right, if you don't mention this, file will not delete. It will be whatever the file is present, right, it will be used for the same purpose. But actually, let me think, in the last run 3 records are loaded, in the present run 1 new record got loaded, right? So instead of that confusion, let us every time to delete and recreate every time. So and moreover, that is the basic default way we are doing it. That's why you should not touch access tab in the input file and output file also, until and unless some requirements demands you. Okay, are we clear, guys? Input file, output file. Okay, Are we clear? Khadar, Ravi, Jyoti.
Yes, Anil.
So I'm just concluding for today. So today we have gone through the basic GDE. So what is GDE and how that look like? Input file and output file detail way, and how to create a data, sample data, and how to write the DML for that. Right? Are we clear for the day? Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So please complete your enrollment. Once the enrollment is done, I can forward you all the software notes. Okay, software and notes, so that like day 3 or day 4, I will be starting on the day 3 or day 4 with the installation process. Okay, so if you are good for today, we can leave the session for today. Have a
Yeah,
good day,
Anil,
guys.
I have one question, Anil.
Yes, go on,
Uh,
please.
yeah, Anil. So I have only experience on the Linux and SQL. So I'm thinking to move my career to the data engineering side. So I thought Ab Initio, one of the ETL tool, if we can learn more on the right, it will be helpful for my skills. So
Yeah.
currently we are working in the Linux and SQL environment. So but you are explaining the things on the Windows. So can you, is it possible for you to explain the things on the Linux environment so that we will also set up the Linux environment in our personal desktop?
See, basically, like in our Ab Initio perspective, Linux is nothing but Unix. So Unix will be used in some situation to create a file, to create a directory, to remove a file, to remove a directory, to copy one existing one. So that kind of things. Correct? So we're having one application installed in the same Windows environment only. See there, you can see my screen, right? So it will allow you all kind of Unix kind of things. Okay, so here you want to learn GD or Unix? GD, correct? Ab Initio. So it irrespective of you can learn for the learning purpose GD, right? So it may be installed in the Unix environment or it may be installed in the Windows environment. Anything is fine, no need to worry. So if you want to practice the Linux thing, you can use this application what I have shown you. So every Unix command is supported here. It's an application. Instead of installing total Unix OS, right? Like you can directly use this. It supports all types of Unix commands.
Okay. So once we are done with this all trainings on the Ab Initio, right? So we will be able to move our career in the Ab Initio developer. Am I correct
Correct,
or?
correct. So basically, whatever the training I am providing you, you can go with the experience of 3 to 5 years at least. Okay, so whatever the content I'm going to tell you, that is the knowledge I have gained in the projects. Okay, everything
Okay,
what I'm telling you, right? That is an I have implemented in the projects. So that's why so that I can tell clearly, like I have gone through this, I have gone through this, I have gone through this, like that.
okay, so there are some cases like I have prepared a resume on the Ab Initio, even though I don't have experience, but they were asking us to work in the production support. So if this gets completed, we will be able to work in the production support environment as well.
Production support, right? I have seen production support, like in the screen share. They are doing some minimal kind of work only. Let me think. I have given some work to production support team to import the jobs from QA to UAT, because UAT is a controlled environment, right? Even though I'm having knowledge, I can't do that. I will be giving steps to L2 team, right? So production support work is very small. Well, whatever the training I'm providing, right, that's only like you will be using 10 or 20% of the things I'm giving the training to you. Production support, right, what they will be doing, they will be monitoring few servers, like CPU usage, memory, right? And any if any uh, job is running from long time, they need to inform L3, right? So whatever the work given by the developers, that need to be done by them. So like 2 years back, what happened, I asked them to work on something. Okay, So they, like he is new to the team, L2 team. Okay, support team, production support team. So he's asking me, Anil, how to do this? Okay, so since that is a team, he may have experience on this kind of work or not. That depends upon situation. So I have given him the respective comments. He worked on it. That depends on the situation. So L2 team is nothing but maintenance of production or UAT environments. Only maintenance. You will not develop anything there. Production support, they will not develop anything there. Production support team will be having access to all the higher environments. They will be like bridge to the development and the production. Okay, if you want to implement, right, I will not be having access. I will be taking screen share from the production support team and I will be implementing. Right. So then Anil, why L2 team needed? So for tracking the things. So let me think. I need to, as I mentioned, I want to import the job. Right. I want to import the job. So if I drop the email, they will not do. I need to create some service node ticket. As per my project, I need to create some service node ticket. So they will be generating a temporary password, one-time password to the production, and they will be giving access to me. Right. So here they will be some, like a gatekeeper to the production or UAT or any other higher environment like prod fix, something like that. Right. So them, like they will be cross-checking the memory. Like 2 TB is available for this quarter. Like for production processing, this 2 TB will be enough or not. They will be checking with some internally higher management. They will be checking with the L3 team. Right. So they will be having their own responsibility. Okay. So while coming to the ab initio perspective, right, they also need to be known all the ab initio things. Right. Some failure was happened. Right. Some ab initio graph got failed. They can see the log. Right. So that log is, like that is like a graph issue or something like environmental issue. If it is graph issue, that need to be routed to L3 team or development team. That also need to be known. Correct. So in that case, if you are having good knowledge in the ab initio, after 6 months or 1 month, 1 year, you can move to the directly development, the same project. So that's why I mentioned only maximum 10 to 30, not more than that.
Okay, so
Whatever
classes will be on daily basis or weekend
daily
basis.
basis,
Ah.
daily basis.
So how many days we will complete this course?
So actually the course content, right, that will be around 23 to 25 hours. Morning 7:30 to 8:30, daily 1 hour 7:30 to 8:30. So like if any Sunday I will be not be taking, any festivals everybody will be busy, right, I will not be taking, and some any emergency I will not be available right at that time, right. So mostly you can take around 40 days, 35 to 40 days. Okay, if any long sessions needed based upon my availability and your availability, we can go for the high, like 2-hour session or 1.5 hour session on Saturday. I mean not every day, on Saturday. Okay,
Do
Saturday
we
also
have
we have,
any other, sorry, do we have any other timings available, or is it just 7:30 to 8:30?
actually 7:30 8:30 is better. Why? Because some US students, right, so they will be aligned with these timings. So if every member here will be in India, right, Anil, I want 8 o'clock or 7:45 or 8:15 or 8:30, based upon the like alignment, we will check. No problem. Not only 7:30, based upon the alignment, every guy is India, right? So if they're okay, we can do. Sometimes say like 7:30 to 8:30. Few members tell me, Anil, I want 8. So few members tell I want 8. Sorry, 7:30 only. So I will be like checking with the organizer. Let's take 7:45 in between, like that.
Sometimes we work in the shifts, Anil, so that's the reason. So
Yeah, of course.
sometimes we do morning shift.
Correct. That situation. So in that time, we will be providing the video, right? So screen recording. You can go through that, and just only 1 hour, right? Sometimes that will be around 50 minutes only. So if a topic is completed, right, I cannot go. to next topic, because it will take another half an hour. That depends on the situation. Sometimes that will be 50 minutes only. That's what I'm going to tell.
Okay, Anil. Yeah, from my end, we are good. Yeah.
Okay, so depending upon the every member's agreement, we can move front and back these timings, but not 1 or 2 hours. Something like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, like that. Okay, check with organizer. So based upon the organizer only, I will be taking the things. Okay, so any questions? Oh, guys, have you gone through the demo? So the organizer mentioned no need of demo, take this day one. So that's why I've not started demo. So in the demo, what I've discussed is like what is ab initio, what is ETL tool, why ab initio, what are the different products given by the ab initio, like basic thing, and creation of some small graph. You can check with Raghu for demo video. He will be sharing you. Okay, just go through it, just for our understanding. Just go through that. Okay, so any questions, guys? Any other info needed? So if you are good for today, we can leave the session for today. Okay, so please complete your enrollments. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Anil.
Thank you, Anil.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye.